Peace family, what's good? It's your brother God Science. I'm up in here once again. Shout out and a special salute to the few that do watch the video, subscribe. Salute to y'all, man. Really appreciate y'all, true indeed, man. As always, I gotta get that out before I even start. Now today I just wanted to do a quick video on Dr. King's Day, man. I know a lot of people just like, you know, Dr. King's Day because they don't have to work. And that's all good, I guess. But, you know, I just wanted to give my thoughts on, you know, Dr. Martin Luther King's Day. You know, I'm not going to do a whole drawn out video on his whole life, but I was just basically going through YouTube and I was watching Fox News, so-called honoring the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And, you know, just of him having this national, I know some people will look at it, especially in the black community, Dr. Martin Luther King is looked at real differently. You know, you hear a lot of Malcolm X, because a lot of people agreed more with a Malcolm X way of, you fuck with me, I'ma fuck with you. You know, not taking any shit. Whereas Dr. Martin Luther King came in a more Christian, like turn the other cheek shit that I really didn't agree with. But, you know, that's him. That's the path that he came in, you know. A lot of, you hear a lot of racists and a lot of people talk about, oh, you don't want to protest and stuff. Y'all could do it, especially with when they had all the Kaepernick kneeling in at the NFL games and shit. You know, you could peacefully protest it. Well, here was a man that protested peacefully like a motherfucker. I mean, I never heard him curse one time in a speech or anything like that. I didn't even think he walked around with. Did he walk around with a gun? I didn't even think he walked around with a gun. He didn't even want people to, and a lot of people don't know. A lot of people that was with him was like, yo, man, they didn't really agree with not, striking back. But Dr. King, you know, he always stood up and like, no, we're not gonna do that, you know. So, and that still wasn't enough. That's the sad shit about it. It still wasn't enough. You had a person that wasn't asking for handouts. He wasn't asking for welfare and all of this bullshit. He was asking for civil goddamn rights. Just to live and let live. You know, be treated like a fucking human. The I have a dream speech that everybody fucking quotes. Everybody and their mom knows that shit, you know? And nobody's following what the fuck he's saying. I mean, we're in 2019, man, and we still going through the same shit. Just like you watch the TV sometimes and you swear that we in 1960s, man. All right. You have white people that haven't grown. They're still with the same shit. And then you have a platform like Fox News that's known to just be spewing out a bunch of bunch of racist shit. Then they're gonna turn around. It just looks like a fucking mockery. All right, especially when the vice president starts quoting what Martin Luther King says and tries to tie that in with the wall shit. It's like, oh God, stop it. You know, some people might disagree with me. Some people will be like, oh, it's good, man, that they made him, you know, he's on a stamp and he has a national day. I just look at it as bullshit. Like, please, when we start seeing them listen to what he's saying and start living that and acting like that, then I'll be like, all right, then y'all can honor Martin Luther King Jr. because you're actually listening to what the fuck he's saying and you're trying to live up to it. Where it is, it's just, it seems like it's a political thing. Or let's just make the blacks happy and make Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which was actually signed by Ronald Reagan, and and that'll keep them happy. And for some of us, it has made some of us happy. But you know, most of us see through some bullshit. It's just bullshit. You know what I mean? And it just irritates me when I see certain people start quoting him and they didn't have any fucking idea what he stood for. You know, if you notice with black leaders, I mean, this man was hated, man. All right. He was probably hated like Hitler. Okay. When he was alive, and all he was doing was standing up for fucking black rights, and he was hated like that. And then when he dies, then he gets a day. Now you would think that people will wake up and say, you know what, we learned our ways. And let me say this, I don't have to keep saying this, but you know, I'm not throwing all white people under the bus. I get it. All right. Like I said, I never put all people and say, oh, y'all is this and all y'all is that. We know it's impossible because we just live in polarity, and it's always going to be, different. I judge people more individually. But if you look at this country, you will get the vision that the majority of people in this country, it has a fucking they got racial issues. All right, they still with that racist shit. We see who's in office. That's just, down here in Florida, we see who was in office here. Florida just showed his face. Always been a racist state, always been. So it's not like, they woke up and they had some enlightenment and like, oh, you know what? Yeah, we're all humans. We should get along. Nah. They just did that to throw us a fucking bone. Because nobody's acting or living out what Martin Luther King Jr. stood for. Now, I've heard people say that he was a government agent, and I guess because of the civil rights movement. And if you look back at the civil rights movement now, it made us like a little weaker, like we fell asleep a little more. Back then, we didn't go. I'm not saying there's no progress. There's not black millionaires and all of this shit. What I'm saying is we was going a little hard back then to create our own hotels because we didn't want to go through the back door. Create our own bathrooms because we couldn't take a shit next to white people. Or, get a drink of water, real dumb shit. You can't eat here. I mean, when you really sit back and look at the shit, it's just like kids, man. It's like straight up kids. But, it's, instead of us being forced to, to do for ourselves with the civil rights, that's some people's arguments anyway. Personally, I don't really have proof to say that he was an agent. If you do, and I'm saying real proof, enlighten me. But I've heard it in the community, and I think a lot of people say that because a lot of people didn't agree with his way. I mean, I think he was here to do what he was here to do, but a lot of people didn't agree with not protecting themselves and not striking back. But, that's who he was, you know what I mean? And that's what he believed. And as we can see, he's not here with us. That still wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, It will never be fucking enough. But, so overall, I respect the man. I didn't personally agree with the way he did things. Malcolm X was more of what I thought a leader. I identified more with him. Where it was Malcolm X, they like to paint Malcolm X as some violent person, but he never initiated violence or anything. Elijah Muhammad didn't even carry guns and shit like that. It was, if you come at us, we gonna get your ass. We gonna go back. But Martin Luther King was totally different. I've seen it. Like I said, I came through a Christian home. I was forced to watch some of that shit. In school, they used to show it, and they'll spray him down and smack him and spit on him, and he just keep walking through. Just keep walking through. We're not gonna submit to the violence, and a lot of people didn't agree with that around him. But with the respect they had for him, and he was the leader that he was, they followed him, and I guess that's why he has a holiday today, which was actually signed by Ronald Reagan. But, is anybody really following what Dr. Martin Luther King said, what he stood for? I don't think so. Are we close to that dream? Hell no. We ain't close to that damn dream. And that's what it is, a dream, humanity, we got a lot of growing up to do, man. We got a lot of growing up to do, and it's crazy. You have these old white men, white women that are still in this mindset, for instance, you got the vice president quoting shit that Martin Luther King Jr. said and trying to tie that in with their war movement And it's like, come on, please, really? You know, so it just looks like a mockery of, you know, and that's a lot of black leaders. Muhammad Ali, the same thing, you know. When he was alive, he was the worst fucking thing. He was going against the Vietnam War and standing with the nation. And you know, now when he died, you got people like fucking Bill Clinton and all these people here, and it's like, it just looks like a mockery, because nobody is really, I won't say anybody, but the majority of Americans are not listening to what the fuck Martin Luther King Jr. was saying, even if you disagree with him or not. I respect him for following his heart, what he stood for, what he believed in, you know. And there was your most peaceful person right there, and like I said, it wasn't enough. They took him out. Now, all the Martin Luther King Jr. conspiracy theories, I don't know. All right, so I know some people be like, well, no, he was a government agent and the government killed. I don't know. I'm talking about what I know. All right, like I said, if y'all have information on that, holla at me, let me know, enlighten me. But from as far as I know, I don't know about him being a government. I know the government fucking had a part in killing him. You know, I mean, they were, you know, J. Edgar Hoover had a hard-on for him. We all know this. This is no fucking secret that he was being taped, recorded, even when he was having affairs and shit. I mean, come on, man. And then that same government turns around and makes his day, gives him the day. It's just like, we don't believe you. We need more people. It's just like, you know, it's just real mockery, man. That's how I look at it, you know, especially in 2019. We got this government shutdown shit. And, you know, people are like, well, Donald Trump ain't even going to show up to any more. Why the fuck is he going to go to a Martin Luther King Jr. Ceremony? I mean, I'll say one thing, you know, he's smart in doing that, because it's just going to be work. It's just be unbelievable. He doesn't give a shit about no Martin Luther King Jr., man. All right, and him showing up at any ceremony, I don't know why people want to see that. You know, at least give him, at least he's standing on who the fuck he is. You know, because if I did see him at a Martin Luther King Jr. ceremony or some shit, I'd be like, I won't believe that. Would you really believe that shit? If you see Donald Trump standing up there and talking about how great Martin Luther King Jr. was, come on, get the fuck out of here, man. Please. You know, so like I said, as you know, somebody asked me, and I'm gonna end it right here. Somebody asked me, what would he think if he was, you know, alive? What he think about, you know, the state of, you know, the conscious community and all this shit? I have no idea. You know, as far as America, I think he'd just be shaking his head. You know, we probably be like, I died for what? You know, I mean, I'm not saying that they're, you know, I've watched tapes of, because I know, like I said, it's before my time, but I've watched tapes of Dr. Martin Luther King, and I've seen white people standing there marching with him. All right. So when I talk about, you know, white people, like I said, man, if the shoe fits, wear it. Y'all know who the fuck I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm not talking about. You know, I'm talking about the majority of this country who, if you hear what I'm saying and it pokes at you, then I'm talking to you, you know, like I said. So I've seen, you know, in videos where there were white people that, yes, there are some white people that exist that actually wasn't with the bullshit. Yes, true. That goes back to the Underground Railroad. That's a whole different video. But the point is that, you know, we all look at the man. Please look at his message. It's the same thing with Jesus. You know, we have a bunch of debates. Did Jesus exist? Did Jesus did not exist? I always said it doesn't really matter, because what was his message? If we can get his message, would it be a better place here? Just a tiny bit. If white people really understood what Martin Luther King stood for and what he was trying to say, would it be less of all this bullshit? Just a little bit. Yeah, I think it'll be just a little bit, but of course not. This is just all political bullshit, you know. Let's throw the niggas something to keep them quiet. Let's make one of their heroes and leaders have a day off. And, you know, it's just, That's how I look at it. Now I know a lot of people might disagree with me. I think they look at it as progress, that he has a day, he might be on a stamp or something. That's big progress. I don't look at it like that. I look at actions, all right? And when we start acting more fucking, like human fucking beings and not fucking animals towards each other, then I would say, okay, yeah, he had an effect on them or some shit like that. Other than that, I don't see how Fox News would even put his name on their damn fucking, screen. It just shows a subtle mockery to me. But, that's just me. And I'm a small channel, so what the fuck do I know? I don't have a lot of subscribers, so maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, what you guys think? Well, I do have a lot of subscribers. I mean, 800 people. That's a lot of people. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, subscribing. Let me know what you think about Dr. Martin Luther King and the day. And, what do you think about him having a day? Do you think people really even give a shit of what he was trying to do? Or are they just doing this bullshit to, give us a bone, put a pacifier in our mouths and be like, now be quiet for a while? I don't know, man. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you're off today, enjoy it, man. Be safe out there. Be blessed. Peace.